Okay, welcome to another installment of How to Get Good. This is a series, obviously, you guys should know by now, but basically it's a series where I tell you how to do levels and then you go and try and then you fail, which is totally okay, as long as you eventually get them in the future. So today we're gonna step it down to something a little bit easier, but still an important level in the game, which is energy. If you don't understand Spanish, that's energía, energy. Anyways, let's not look at this ad, so I'll press play. So the way energy works is it's a mega 13. Most people consider it about 13.7. I would consider it a little bit lower, but that's just me. And then this level has a lot of things that will test your abilities for a lot. The reason why it's a 13.7 is because it's very hard to figure out what on earth is going on at some sections. So yeah, I'm going to show you, and hopefully you can prime class 9. If you already have, then maybe you can omega this chart, which would be lit because I don't see many omegas on this. So let's get into it. So energy, mega. Okay. Level starts off pretty simple. I'll just say something here so I don't have to say this again. For this triple, you have a couple options. You can jack. This third note lines up with this note, by the way. So you can jack it. You can switch it. You can do 3 fingers. You can trill. Most recordings you will see of this go 2-3-2. This is only particular to the beginning, but here you can do like say jack, and then like double or index, middle, double, or whatever. You can do whatever you want here. So like if you want to look cool, just put your thumb in there a little bit. You can jack, and then you can just do it all with the right hand if you want. Okay, not that big of a deal. Here again, not that hard. Just note that this note is a little later. Be ready to jack or multi-finger based on which one you prefer. It's not too bad. Okay, this is the real first hard part. So what you're gonna do is you want to have everything, your left hand all on the left side. The reason you want to, and your right hand will control the bottom. So if you're good at moving and aiming with your right hand, you can do the right hand with 1 finger and the left hand with 1 finger. If you're not so good at aiming with the right hand, you can use 2 fingers on the right hand. Both approaches are perfectly fine. So, I mean, when you go into it, it's not that bad. I mean, you can hit this first double with like the left hand by itself, but then go into it. So if I use 2 fingers, it's gonna look like this. Wait, hold on. So yeah, 2 fingers looks like this. 1 finger looks like this. Okay, and then when you see these hold notes, don't worry about them. You can just tap them as normal notes, and it will register as 2 perfects. Just note that it's eighth notes here instead of quarter notes. So eighths, go back to quarter notes, and now it's all eighth notes. And now here, notice that this side is all like notes, and this is all red stuff. Now, obviously, you don't want to tap mixer notes on the bottom. That's a crucial rule in this game. Never tap mixer notes that are on the bottom. Don't do it. It's not a good idea. So these eighth notes go into it. Da, 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 da. And these left-hand things continue, right? So unless you want to flex, you can do this. If you want to flex. But if you don't want to flex and you just want to omega it, do this. So right here, you tap this with the left hand, and then your right hand can be like this. So you have, it's basically 5 lanes. You want to have these 3 fingers here and just tap with the right hand. So going into it slowly. And in fact, here you can just put your entire hand down. The note won't trigger. And just keep these 3 fingers down the entire time and just trill. So that's the easiest way to do it. All right, let's continue. Small notes. Okay, so the way this part works is very simple. Notes line up with the right hand. You'll always have something like this. And it'll always be the rightmost note, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So, you just need to find a pattern that works for this. Starts on the left, 16ths, eighths, you see how we have patterns here? So at full speed, it's gonna look something like this. So if you're on a phone, this part can be easily done with any fingering you really want to. If you're on an iPad, you have to be a little more careful. It's gonna require a lot more left-hand stuff. So here, I would suggest going like that. And then here, this note lines up with this note. So I would just move over with left and just tap this like that. I'll slow it down. Here, this note lines up with this note. So these, oh wait, no, it doesn't. Wait. It lines up with that. Okay, so here, and then you have this. So you're in the position here. You can either go like this and bring the right hand down, or you can go like this, jack this, or you can left hand trill like this. These left hand trills aren't that fast. It's not actually going to be that hard for you. It's not like this one. It's not like that. So I would just left hand trill, but if you can't do that, then you have other options. You know, you have, so left hand on the bottom, left hand on the bottom, and you can do that. Left hand trill, or if not, you can like that. I would just use middle finger or ring finger on the side for all the notes. Here, the best way to probably do it is like this, left hand trill 3, and then these two line up. But you can also do something like the jack or jack, jack, and double. So here, So here, let's say you do the left hand trill. Those two notes line up. And then here, this note and this note line up. So it's going to be da 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 da. Left, right, together. Together, together. This is just alternating. Together. Okay, so here you can do two things. You can jack left here, okay, not two things. Jack left together, multi together, or left, right, and then jack into this. Now, it seems like doing that is inconsistent, but in fact, you do that in a lot of Mega 14s, Giga 14s, and Giga 15s. So, if you want to practice that, you know, this is pretty consistent for a lot of really, really good players. So, I mean, if that's something you want to get good at, you know, go ahead and practice it. Line up, alternate, line up. Okay, now you have this part. It's just backwards of what you had earlier. Again, I would suggest doing all the stuff on the left hand, on the bottom with the left hand, and then with the right hand on the right side. But then you have this. I'll just play this part for you so you can see what's going on here. Okay. So, notice how this note is bigger than this note. That signifies that this is the downbeat and this is the offbeat. Notice that there are catch notes here, drag notes, whatever you call them. Remember the golden rule. Never tap catch notes or drag notes or mixer notes on the bottom. Therefore, what should you do? First of all, let me mention this. Don't forget these hold notes. What should you do? Well, this is what you should do. Somewhere around here, don't hit middle finger. Don't hit index finger. Switch to middle finger. And when you get around here, switch to ring finger. The reason being, even pinky if you want. The reason being is that right here, this trill starts da 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 da. But what you can do is you can in fact just put your ring finger here, and since all the notes are coming down from the right, you can just tap with 3 fingers here, and your middle finger is not close enough to trigger the note, right? So as long as you keep your ring finger like here, where it's going to trigger the note, neither of your other fingers are going to trigger the note, and you can just trill like this. You really don't even have to worry about like holding down either. Like, I'm serious when I say this. It lines up with these notes, and even if it does, even if it didn't, or even if it doesn't, because I actually don't know, I just assumed that. But even if it doesn't, you should trigger it anyways, because these notes have a big enough timing window to use, and you can trigger them from anywhere, right? So, why is the brightness down? Okay, this part will look like this. So switch to ring finger, and then start the trill. So. Right, and then you hold this. Here you can just do trill, or you can go like this, or whatever, or like this, you know. This is all ground. I'm not even gonna talk about this part. If you can't do this part, I don't try to Omega or FC this because you won't be able to. Like, just telling you. Do that jack here, but again, you don't have to worry about that much. Okay, now this part's very annoying if you don't know what you're doing. So, first note, second note, first note, second note, first note, second note, first note, second note. Are you seeing a pattern here? Are you seeing? Because I am. Okay. First note, second note. You see how it works? Now, if you want, you can do this. And then you don't really have to pay attention. But if you're right-handed, I would not suggest doing that. And even if you're left-handed, I would not suggest doing that because your left hand has to go inwards too much. If the length between the notes is the same, I would go forward. Okay, now this part's a little different at the end. So the second note, and then here lines up. So the way way you should do this is like this: together, left, together, left, together, left, together. So 3 notes, 1 note. 3 notes, 1 note. So left hand will be eighths, right hand will be chord notes. Now notice here there's a double on the left hand. This double does not line up with anything. So it's going to be this double, and then these 2 notes line up. So like second note, first note, second note, first. Okay, that's in the middle. I should probably explain that. It's not for the first 2. Second note, first note, second note, and this somewhere in the middle, second note, first note, second, and this double on the left hand, and then you go to this. It should be intuitive. Just listen to the music, honestly. Bump, 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 bump. And then you do this part, right? So, yeah. Again, second note, first note. And then here it's the second to last note, actually. Okay. First, second, and this. Double on the left hand, and go into this. Okay, now you have a couple options at this part. Surprisingly, yes, you do have a couple options. You always have options. Whether they're good options or not is up to you. Okay, first option is to treat this like demo and jack everything. Like this. Note how fast this is. I'm multi-fingered, sorry. Don't do that. If you look at my video, I did jack it just because I felt like it. The other option is to multi-finger. The most efficient multi-finger strats require 5 fingers. But you can do it 4 or 3 even if you wanted to. Let's break it down. So if you're jacking, good luck. I can't really give you a strategy to jacking this because it just has to be completely intuitive. You just have to play a lot of something that requires you to do jacks like this, like Demo, or even Archaea. I don't know. If you're gonna multi-finger, I can show you that. So the first multi-finger comes here. Left hand, I would just go 2-3. And then same here. So left hand 2-3, left hand 2-3, again left hand 2-3. Now here I would go left hand 2-3. Alternating. Now, okay, you're here, right? You just tapped it with the index finger. Therefore, you have to go 2-3-4. If you don't want to do that, you have to replace this with the middle finger, right middle finger, and you have to remember that. Obviously, when you get here, because the beginning is actually the hardest part, honestly. So if you get here, you may not remember. So you may want to be able to do this just so you don't have to think about it. If you really can't do that with your left hand, yeah, figure out a way to go to that middle finger. And then here, you can switch to middle finger because you can see it coming. And it's a lot easier to your brain to think, oh, 4K is coming, switch to middle finger. And then you have something like this. So here, if you don't move your hands, you have a left hand trill. If you move your hand, it's a lot easier. But a lot of people won't move their hands. I know you're watching saying you're gonna move your hands, right? No, you're not gonna move your hands. Trust me, I know you. You're not going to. So, what should you do? Well, you can left hand trill. It's 5 trill. Have fun with that. Or you can move over, and then here Note the pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then after here, you have to move it with your left. Or you can go like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then left, if you're right-handed. If not, left-hand trill. If you want to do something weird, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I do not recommend that. And then go back to alternating. Woo, yay, alternating. It's over. Nope, 4K. But this one's easy to see coming. Because you're meant to be another 4K. Kind of a 4K. So right here, this is going to be hit with the right hand, so it's easier to go left, left, right, right. And then here, you have another instance where you can do 3 fingers on the left hand, but if you want, you can just do a right hand 3 trill. And then you have to do a left hand 3 trill, I believe. Yeah, you do. So, I guess you don't have to. I mean, you go, since you're here, you're gonna go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And then you go here again. And then these are together. And like that. It's very awkward. So multi-finger at full speed, something like this. I did the left hand trill because I was too lazy to do right handers. Something like that. I mean, as with all multi-finger sections like that, you're free to come up with your own strategy. You might want to mix jacking and multi-fingering. I mean, if you're having trouble all multi, put in some jacks where you have trouble. I mean, it might help. If you have trouble with all jacks, put in some multi. You know, that's how it works in this game. Everyone has a different strategy, and like I said, that I don't know why I make these, because I mean, it's basically, it should be up to you to determine what strategies you're going to use. But I mean, I can show you in what order the notes come. Anyways, and I can give you what I use. Maybe you want to use what I use, but you're not me, so what I use might not be comfortable for you. Anyways, so yeah, continue. These two are together. So this is like the beginning 2 sections, except they switch, which is honestly not that bad. Trust me. Okay, I'll just start it at 134. Okay. So these are together, these are together. So it's quarter notes on the right hand side, and left hand takes care of the bottom. Then it switches. Then 8th notes on the right hand. Note there's a triple. Watch out for triples. I would use your stomach. Now this is different, okay? So notice here, these notes are smaller than these notes. There's a reason for that. You want to guess what that is? Oh, it's because these are the offbeats, correct. So, quarter notes, right hand takes care of the bottom. Triple, not a triple. Okay. This big note lines up with the left hand. This small note also lines up with the left hand. Therefore, what do you have to do? This. Depending on what you use, whether it be this, this, or this, or this, or this, or this, don't do that. You have to hit these two together. 1, 2. This big note is between these two. So it's 1, double, single, double, single, 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 and then a couple doubles in between on the left hand. They all come on downbeats. So this is probably one of the hardest sections of the level, actually. Third beat, 4th beat, and then they come together here. So if you did this spam all with your middle fingers, like this, I would, you know, you can do that. So, long story short, you have something here that looks like this. Wait, it's too fast for me. Okay. That should make sense. I hope it doesn't. I hope it does. I hope it doesn't. Okay, so when you get here, don't choke. Okay, first thing I have to say. Second thing, this note is fast. Don't choke. Now you have a triple, but it's on the left hand. What that means is, if you can't do this on your left hand, which, you know, is understandable, you have to find something different. You're not jacking this. Don't jack this. Please do not jack that. Doing that is very difficult, okay? Just trust me. Jacking at a different speed is very hard, okay? You have to do it in crux, but crux is triplets. This is, you know, not triplets. These are 16ths. So, if you can't do this, well, you have other options because both notes are on the bottom. You can do this. Notice, these two line up, these two line up. Or you can do this. If you're good at right hand trills, you can go like that and pretend like it's a 3 trill on the right hand, because it technically is if you go like that. So at full speed. Or you know, there's many options. Or you can just do it normally. If you can do that. This part is the same on all 4 times, except for this time. Once you get here, for this note, there's a rule in Dynamix that I mentioned earlier. Never tap track notes that are on the bottom, okay? You're gonna break that rule here. You know why? Because it's easier. You don't really want to just hold your middle finger down randomly. You want to just go like that. And make sure you're just moving your left hand with the right hand. And then the right hand trill. That's really the only way to do it. I mean, you can jack there because you're only holding down the left hand. So this part, and then don't do that, and then don't choke this. Left hand is just quarter notes, don't worry about it. Right hand is the same pattern you've been doing the entire song. That's energy. That only took 21 minutes, 22 minutes to explain. Not bad. Again, trust your instincts. I just explained to you how this level works. It's your job to actually execute it. Have fun.